The number one factor outside of your job in the military that'll determine your happiness is the base that you're stationed at. Now, a critical aspect of that duty station is dating opportunity, pure and simple. I want to highlight and go over the worst Air Force bases to be stationed at if you're a single man or you unexpectedly become a single man while you're in the Air Force. Now, let's start out with some baselines on what makes an Air Force base terrible for a single guy. Number one is that all you have in proximity to the Air Force base is small towns, usually a small town right outside of the base. Now, a little history lesson. Back in the old days, when men used to ride horses, the Mongol hordes existed, one in particular being the Golden Horde. They used to attack their enemies by doing cycle charges, meaning they would hit their enemy with cavalry, retreat, and then hit them again. That's exactly what happens to these small towns in proximity to the base. Airmen of past and present go in, take all the dating opportunities away from you, ruin the town. The town's been ruined for decades, and then now you're stationed there. You have zero opportunity. It's not your fault. It's just that's life. That's what happened to that town that's close to the base. So there's no dating opportunity there. Everybody that's, like a good-looking woman who has opportunity, she looks good, she's intelligent, she's going to leave and go move to the city. As with anywhere in the country, everyone's moving towards these cities, these large cities. They're not going to stay in this small town that, maybe some great, young airman's going to take me away and show me the world and everything like that. That's not happening. They're gone. They're moving to a college town or to a big city to have a good job. They're not going to stay in nowheresville. Number two is dying towns. Now, for decades, the population growth rate for our country, minus immigration, is pretty much negative. So our birth rates are way down, meaning that these towns where these people live are skewing older and older. All the young people leave these towns when they come of age, and it becomes basically a dead town. No more net growth, no more real births or anything. Maybe the births from, military personnel that are stationed there. But beyond that, these towns are dead. So they skew older, and all you have is a bunch of older Americans living in these towns. That is totally negative for dating opportunity. No young people existing in a town, basically. You're screwed. You're just totally screwed. So you have to travel further out from the base, from these towns, to find better dating opportunities, which makes your quality of life worse. The third and final baseline is climate, okay? So if you're in a northern Air Force base where half the year it's extremely cold, that drastically decreases your ability to travel outside of the base's proximity. Meaning you have for a portion of the year, you have zero dating opportunity. Now, of course, hey, you can find the scraps in your nearby town, or which I strongly disadvise is try and date other people within the military. For a portion of the year, your life is hell. You're stuck in a cold environment. It's freezing outside. You cannot date anybody really. It just sucks, okay? So climate is a huge factor on whether your base is awful. Now that we've ran through the baselines, I'm now going to commence on going over the 10 worst Air Force bases. Keep in mind, though, I'm not including short tour bases. That's a totally different thing. Starting off with number 10, Seymour Johnson Air Force Base in North Carolina. Now you have Goldsboro as the city right outside of the base, 35,000 people. Basically a dying town, not a lot of opportunity. You have Wilson, North Carolina, about 40 minutes away, 50,000 people. Another dying town. Kinston, Greenville, very small population towns. Greenville having about 95,000. It's okay. But the saving grace of this base is Raleigh, North Carolina, is about an hour and 15 away, which still sucks. So you have to drive an hour and 15 to get to a city with about 475,000 people. Then outside of that, another 15 minutes away is Durham, North Carolina. Just the big thing is that if you have to drive, about an hour or more to get to a city to have like a normal life, all right, to have normal dating opportunities, it sucks because you have to drive an hour there or more and an hour back and more. Once you hit like a 2 hour mark anywhere, it's almost impossible to say after work you drive 2 hours to see your girlfriend in Riley or like a city equivalent. I think you have to drive another 2 hours back that night because you have to wake up the next morning to go to work. It's really awful. Like it's a real terrible lifestyle. Number 9 on the list is Shaw Air Force Base in South Carolina. Now you have a close city in proximity to the base called Sumter. Has a population of 40,000. It's destroyed. Airmen of past and present have ran through that base, so the dating opportunities are pretty low. Then you have a set of like really small towns in proximity to the base: Manning, Camden, Bishopville, small towns / city Florence, and then like the quote unquote saving grace maybe is Columbia, South Carolina, an hour away, population 135,000. But still, you have to drive an hour to go to a city with 135,000 people. There's not a lot of good opportunity there either. You got a small town like that, people are leaving. Great opportunity to find like a great woman. It's probably like not that possible, even with a population of 135,000. At number 8 on the list, you have Grand Forks Air Force Base in North Dakota. Now, this is a base that is severely affected by bad climate. So for a portion of the year, it's freezing there. And your ability to drive outside of the Grand Forks area is severely limited. So you really can't do a lot of dating. So you have Grand Forks, of course, that's 20 minutes outside of the base. East Grand Forks, 25 minutes, population 8,000. This place has another, like a bunch of small towns: Northwood, Larimore, Grafton, Thief River Falls. Just a bunch of small towns with populations below 10,000. And your nearest large city is Fargo, North Dakota. Okay, so population 125,000. You have to drive there the drive is about an hour and a half. Okay, so I want to put this into your head, all right? You are driving an hour and a half to go to Fargo to see if you can get better dating opportunities, date better women, okay? You're going to, like, imagine telling your family that, hey, I'm driving an hour and a half to go to Fargo, North Dakota to see, like, to meet this sweetie or something like that, okay? And you can, during the winter, okay, you're dating some chick in Fargo, you can kiss the ability to go see her goodbye during the winter, okay? You're not going to drive an hour and a half through the freezing cold and back after work any day of the week. So, yeah, awful base, terrible. Number 7 on the list is Whiteman Air Force Base. So, another middle of nowhere base. You have Knob Noster, you have Warrensburg, small population towns, Sedilla, Clinton, California. I had no idea there was a town named California in Missouri, okay? Jefferson City. These are like fictional named towns. You have a kind of a decent-sized city, Columbia, Missouri, about 125,000. The only thing that's saving you here is Kansas City, Missouri. You have 500,000 people there, but you have to drive an hour and a half to get there. So it's just, you're in a state where, you know, a lot of people really don't think of Missouri that often. And, like, shout out to everybody born in Missouri. Like, God bless you. But, like, yeah, you're in the middle of nowhere. You tell somebody, hey, I'm in Knob Noster, I'm in Warrensburg, I'm at Whitman Air Force Base. They're going to be like, where is that? Like, yeah, so your opportunities, like, people sticking around this area are zero. You're not going to have good dating opportunities here. Number 6 on the list is Dyess Air Force Base, located in Texas. Now, listen, you are very close to a town / city that has a decent population. 125,000 people are in Albine, Texas, about 15 minutes away from the base. And that's good, but like we've talked about, that base has been subjected to Air Force members going there, like just running through the city, running through the town. Like, they're used to you. Like, it's not a place conducive of finding like a good girl to date or like a girl that is like of higher status for you. Like, so that's what you have there. Now, the crazy thing about Dye is that outside of Albine, it's small towns, and like the closest like cities / towns with larger populations, like San Angelo, 100,000 population, hour and 30 away. Lubbock, Texas, 260,000, 2 hours away. So kiss the opportunity goodbye to go to any of these towns during the week. Like, you cannot go over there and then come back to the proximity of Albine, Texas. It's over. It sucks. Number 5 on the list is Malmstrom Air Force Base in Montana. Now listen to this, okay? Yeah, you have a town right outside the base, Great Falls, okay. But what's outside of that is where it gets crazy, okay? You have a bunch of small towns, 20 minutes away, 25 minutes away, an hour away, 30 minutes away, like, that have populations about under 1,000. So Cascade, 700. Belt, a town named Belt, 600 people. Sims, Montana, around 200. Just crazy. So you go an hour and a half out, you have Helena, Montana, 32,000. Okay? That's not good. And then outside of that, now this is like a top tier town, Bozeman, Montana. There's money there. There's high quality there. 3 hours away. Okay? 3 hours away. And then it gets cold up there as well. So you're going to be freezing up there. So you're not going to be driving to Bozeman during the winter where all the like high tier prospects are. You're stuck. Number 4 on the list is Altus Air Force Base located in Oklahoma. The unique aspect of Altus Air Force Base is that the next closest town is 50 minutes away, that being Lawton with a population of 98,000. And it doesn't help either that Altus has a population of 19,000. So every time you want to leave the proximity of Altus Air Force Base, you have to drive at least 50 minutes to get outside to a new town. After that, you have Wichita Falls. That's an hour and 20 away. Midland, Texas, 140,000 population, 2 hours and 30 minutes away. Albine, Texas, 125,000. Albine is where Dye's Air Force Base is, so you don't want to go there. That's 2 hours and 50 minutes away. Then Oklahoma City's 2 hours away. So when you have a military base and you have to drive 2 hours outside of it, as with most of these other bases, your dating life is over, okay? Because anytime you need to drive out of the sticks to get to anywhere with civilization, you're drained. Anything inconvenience that happens to you, you get like ghosted by a girl. Let's say you drove 2 hours to, let's say, Oklahoma City, okay? You get there, you already had been texting the girl saying, okay, like, we're going to meet here, blah, blah, blah. And then like 15 minutes before the date, the girl just says, hey, I can't come, something came up, blah, blah, blah. Okay, imagine that drive back to Altus Air Force Base after that, okay? You drove 2 hours, now you're driving 2 hours back, so that's 4 hours right there for nothing. You wasted 4 hours of your life for nothing, okay? Nothing. Number 3 on the list, and one of the goats of terrible bases in general, is Cannon Air Force Base located in New Mexico. Now, you are primarily going to be living in Clovis, which is a small town right outside the base. I've heard a lot of stuff about Clovis, like people are ripped off, the town folk are not nice, etc., etc. The whole area smells of cow manure because of all the cows there. And a lot of people develop breathing issues because of constantly inhaling that air. Outside of that, there's a small town, Portales, 25 minutes away. And then here's where it gets interesting, okay? Every decent-sized city, okay, Amarillo, Lubbock, Texas, Hobbs, New Mexico, well, actually, it has 40,000, so not decently sized. All these areas, okay, they're 2 hours away. So basically, outside of Portales and Clovis, you're like quarantined there. That's where you exist in purgatory, because there's no way you're going to be driving to any of these decently sized cities to talk to Susie, okay? It's not going to happen. You're going to do it, and your life's going to be miserable, all right? On top of that, it's hot out there. And that, once again, that cow manure deal, awful. So, yeah, this is like one of the hell bases in the military. So if you get stationed here, best of luck to you. Put your head down. Just get through it. Number 2 on the list, and not a surprise to many who are in the Air Force, is Minot Air Force Base located in North Dakota. Now, you are going to be living in the town of Minot, possibly, which has a population of 49,000. Outside of that, the closest town to Minot is Bismarck, North Dakota. Okay, population 74,000, 2-hour drive. Okay, 2-hour drive. And then you have some other places you go. Willington, population 32,000, 2-hour drive. Dickinson, population 25,000, 2-hour drive. Grand Forks, North Dakota, population 57,000, 3-hour drive. And they already have an Air Force base there, so good luck with that, okay? And guess what? It gets freaking cold up there, all right? It's really cold during the winter. So you're going to be stuck in Minot. So why not Minot? That's exactly right. You can't say anything else. There's no other option. So you just have Minot. You're going to be there. It's going to suck. And you just have to figure it out. If they don't give you orders to get out of Minot, guess what? You say, I'm leaving the military. Same thing with Cannon. When they give you a terrible base and your dating life is 0, it's an absolute 0, or you're dating prospects that are not good, they're not good women generally, just do not subjugate yourself to sticking it out. Get out of there. Go get your education. Go get a good job. Live where you want to live, okay? So Minot, it's going to be an awful experience for you if you're a single man or a newly divorced guy or something like that. But just hold out. Get out of there. Get out of the military if they don't get you out of there. And you will be hardened mentally for the rest of your life, I guess. That's one benefit, is that you'll always go back to Minot when you're going through a tough time. And remember those days where your life sucked, okay? So do it. And the worst Air Force base for single men is Eielson Air Force Base located in Alaska. You'll possibly be living in the town of Fairbanks, which has a population of 32,000, and it's about a 30-minute drive from base. But the kicker is that every town in proximity to Fairbanks and Eielson is extremely small. You have North Pole, Alaska, okay? North Pole, Alaska. That's a town that you'll be living near, okay? 2,200. Delta Junction, 1,000. Talk, 1,500. And the nearest city is Anchorage, but it's not near. It's not even close to near. It's far away. It's 6 hours away, all right? So maybe, if you want to waste all your money, you can fly to Anchorage every weekend during the summer when it's not freezing, when your life doesn't suck. You can probably fly to Anchorage and spend, a few $100 a weekend on hotel accommodations, and maybe you find your little Susie somewhere over there, your little honey. But your life's going to suck, and you have to just suck it up and tell your command, hey, I want out of here. Hey, if you don't let me out of here, I'm going to either get out of the military at the end of my contract, or that's it. I'm leaving the military. I'm going to complain. I'm sick of this. And always remember too, when it comes to the military, no one cares about you. Okay, no one truly cares about you. All they care about is their career. So remember this saying: squeaky wheels get fixed. All right. So keep squeaking. Keep complaining, say, I hate it here, and eventually either it be they give you a good base to move to after your time there, or you just get out and you get as far away from Alaska as possible. That is the key, all right? Better yourself in the interim, but during that time, when it comes time to for movement in your life there, get out or figure something else out. That's what you have to do. And that is my top 10 list of worst Air Force bases for single men. Feel free to leave your comments below about your experiences at these bases, or if I'm right or if I'm wrong, I want to hear it. Or if you're fixing to go to one of these bases, feel free to let us know. We'll get a good laugh out of that. Also, if you guys are thinking of joining the military, if there's somebody who's a potential recruit, or you guys you're in the military and you want to learn more about how you should invest your money, or if you're thinking of getting out, what degree to pursue once you get out of the military, and how to set your life up for success, feel free to sign up below on my Calendly link. We can have an hour discussion and discuss anything you want about the military, about life, about whatever. I'm here to help you out. Have a great day. Peace out.